Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Yay! It's day 9. We're almost to the finish line. So, if you have been following along, following along with me in this 12 days of giveaway, thank you for being a part of this project of mine. That this is my second year doing this. It has been so exciting. I get to share the thing that I love the most, which is teaching math. So, if you're new here, my name is Michelle, aka the Ignited Teacher, and what I do on this channel is I help math teachers close learning gaps by providing them with evidence-based math strategies that I have used in my classroom or that I've used with students to help them close the gap so that they can see at least 1 year's growth by the end of the school year. So thank you. A lot of you all are going to see this on the replay. And if you have any questions, comments, drop it in the comment section. And I will definitely hop on and we can chat. So if you are like, where have I been? And I want to participate. You can jump in today, and we have 2 more days left. The 2 days left are special products that I have created that are going to get you started with math intervention and closing those gaps very, very quickly. So, the link is in the description of this live stream. You just click on it, hop on over. The calendar is there, and it's at the bottom. It's not at the bottom. Let me see if I can pull it up for you all. It's right here, and see, day 9 is highlighted. And all of this fun is taking place right here on my YouTube channel. We have posts in this post section where you can ask questions and find out what's happening on that day and reflect on that day. And I know that you all are tired because it is the last day before some of you all get out for the break. And I know the kids are bouncing off the walls. So hopefully, when you're off and you're like, I need to get prepared, let me look at some of these things, you'll come back over here to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button so that you'll know where I am, because I'll be live streaming over the break because it just doesn't stop there. So today on day 9, one of my other favorite things to teach is rounding. Yay! And one of the problems, kids cannot round. A lot of them struggle with rounding. You know why? Because rounding is place value. That's what it is. And you're going to see that today in this little snippet of what I'm teaching today. So, let's hop into it. So, in this rounding product that I created, it was based on my students not understanding, first of all, what a friendly number is. And a friendly number is a number that ends in zero. So we deal with 10 all of the time. So that's what rounding is. So I added some literacy strategies here. So you can go through this to activate our students' understanding. A lot of our students, I'm tutoring a student, and the student is really big in reading, which is great. And students that are not really mathy, get the numbers, they need to access the math with the literacy strategies. So the more graphic organizers that you bring in, the better off they are because they understand math through a different lens. And I learned that with a student that I was teaching a long time ago. She's probably in high school, probably about to graduate next year. So she was really good with reading. She was 2 grade levels above 5th grade, which is 7th grade, but her math understanding was minimum. She did not understand the math because she was accessing the math and trying to understand it through a literacy lens, and they don't get it. They don't. So students that are really, really good with reading, you can help them out when you put graphic organizers or you start taking what they understand about literacy and applying in math. And that's one of these things. So this is in here. A friendly number is what? And they fill out the graphic organizer. It's a number that ends in zero. That's a friendly number. So that helps those students to really understand, okay, if I'm rounding with friendly numbers, I'm looking for numbers that end in zero. Now, the problem solving strategy that I absolutely love is redraw write. I was introduced to redraw write in Louisiana when I was teaching there many years ago, and I adapted it for as a structure to support struggling learners. So I have a product that well, it's really not even a product, it's like a growing bundle of resources to support students that struggle with reading. And one of the things I learned about students who struggle with reading, they do better with manipulatives than students who are literacy based students, meaning they are good readers. So they just process math different. But if you put that into your lesson, it you get all the students. You hit each type of learner, but you have to, it's like a Chex Mix. You have to put all the ingredients in there to make sure that you're hitting the different type of learners and how they process information, especially when it's rounding. So, I have see, my little sheet protectors. Love them, love them, love them. They're cheap. And I have my number line, which this is in the product. So, redraw write. We're going to underline the question because a lot of our students, what they struggle with is doing this, answering the question. They're all over the place and didn't even answer the question. Maggie and David are practicing jumping. So that's one sentence. And this is a support for your English language learners because they're learning English. They don't know in English that there's a capital letter and an end mark. So in math, you have to put that support in. Then here's another sentence. Maggie jumps 24 centimeters and David jumps 48 centimeters. There's a sentence. What is the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10? So it's telling you we're rounding, not estimating. And I have another product, I believe, that does rounding, talks about rounding, but it talks about clarifies the difference between rounding and estimating. It's not the same. So what is the smallest whole number David rounded to the nearest 10 that David and Maggie's actual, that could be David and Maggie's actual jump? So we know that Maggie jumps 24 centimeters and David and jumps 48. So we're going to put an M for Maggie. And we know that her actual number is 48. And David, we know that his actual number is, oh, backwards. We know that Maggie's actual number is 24 and David's actual number is 48. So you're probably saying, well, why do I have two numbers lines here? First of all, a lot of your students struggle with regular number lines. And we're talking about number lines that, let me pull this up, number lines with just 0 through 10. So I put that up there for support for this. So we're looking at 24. So when I teach this, these are the two friendly numbers that 24 is going to be in between. That's a conversation. How do you know? Because the halfway point between 20 and 30 is 25, and we know that 24 comes before 25. How do we know? Because here's 4 and here's 5. That's why that support is there. That's for those students that are way, 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 way below grade level. So then this is Maggie. And then we have David, which is 48. What segment of this line, and yes, I use the word segment, of this line could David's jump be between? Oh, I know. It could be between 40 and 50. Why? Here's your halfway point. Because 48 is close to 49, and then we hit a multiple of 50. So this is David. Now, back, we did all of that thinking. See, there's your math tool, and we've done the thinking. So back to the question. What is the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10 that could be David's and Maggie's actual jump? So we're looking for what? The smallest whole number rounded how? To the nearest 10. So let's go back to our thinking. So the smallest whole number that David could have, they didn't say largest, they said the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10. So how many tens do we have? We have 40 and we have 50. So the smallest one will be 40 and the smallest one will be 20. So people are saying this is a confusing problem because it didn't say rounded to the nearest 10. It said the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10. 50 is not the smallest rounded to the nearest 10. Some people may argue that, but it's small. It's 40. That could have been his jump, which is the smallest one. It could be 50, but 50 is larger than 48. And we're looking for the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10. Then we have 24. The smallest one would be 20. So it could be 20, and it could be 30, but it asks for the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10. That's a little different. That's why teaching students that 4 or less, let it rest, 5 or more, raise the score, it doesn't work here because it has to take thinking. And they're making these questions a lot harder to where they have to actually think. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was helpful. I don't use tricks. And it's unfortunate that our third graders are being taught four or more, let it rest, or four, five or more, raise the score, four or less, let it rest. That means nothing. And even with my grandson, when I get him this summer, I'm going to do some reteaching with him because he's going to fourth grade. And I want him to be able to um, understand math fluidly, not a bunch of tricks. I guess if you're just doing, doing rounding and it doesn't make sense to a kid, you could put that in there. But just know, once you put that information out there, those kids gravitate to it like a moth to a flame. And then when it doesn't work, then it becomes a problem and you have created a gap. So you want the students to be able to think through these problems. And the problem that I just showed you is a problem that probably I saw because I created this product so many years ago. It's ridiculous. So you want your kids to be able to think, not just be able to round, and they have to be able to solve problems. And them just adding the smallest whole number rounded to the nearest 10, change that up. And if you just teach them the rounding rules, and not the conceptual understanding, those students are going to get these type of problems wrong. So hop on over to 12 days of teach my math intervention academy page with a registration page and download using friendly numbers to round. It's my gift to you. And we have 2 more days. So if you want to be a part of my 12 days of giveaway, I encourage you to go down into the description of this live stream, and I'll see you all tomorrow for day what? 10. Bye bye.